Okay, I starting over again. One time when Vinny knew that there was something up with me, I asked for a bowl of cereal, and he says, "Oh, it's just a Jake. I know eating 15 meals a day." I said this in the last video, and I was eating 15 meals a day the first 3 years, 9 and a little at 10, until I started losing weight. Then I was getting too skinny over the last 3 years because I wasn't eating anything actually fulfilling, and the only time when I actually ate something was on the weekends with my dad. I ate a whole pizza every weekend at the beginning of Friday. It was nice. That was the last 2 years I was living with mom. That was. It was like cheap pizza with garlic on it. That's what cheap pizza is. Has garlic on it and no sauce. So yeah. And Oh, for the 3 years I was living with mom, and all the years after that, when I was in Lighthouse, every year, including my first therapist, said that thought that when I was talking about movies, I was speaking metaphorically. Mr. Tucker thought that, and all the other therapists, except one exception. Um, and I'll get to that one later. But one of the ones, remember the T-shirt I told you that was my therapist that said to everyone, "I'm here to teach you, not to please you, blah blah, I'm a dirty bitch." Mm, mm. And anyway, so I also asked her, "How's Sasha? Is he okay?" And she just got mad at me and said, and this was the same person. She said, "I can't not allowed to talk to my clients with you." Blah 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 blah. And anyway, um, so what's next? Oh yes, I had that therapist my third year in school and years later. And then I eventually get one to this other therapist, and she was the only one that she was the only one that knew that I wasn't talking about metaphors when I was talking about movies and shows. The reason how this happened is because Vinny told the school white lies that I'm not talking about, actually talking about movies when I'm talking about movies and TV shows. All the teachers thought I wasn't when I was and thought I was talking about metaphors and not movies and TV shows were metaphors. And they buy that lie that Vinny said to Mr. Orlando and to all the people that came at my house one day. Miss James told me to be quiet and don't interrupt because I'll get in trouble. Oh, I remember she also threatened to call the cops on me. Oh, and I also tried to kill myself twice in the same year at 10. And the same exact way with the same like bus driver and the same like people on the bus. And now, in case you don't know what the story is, those who are new to the channel, I jumped under the bus and put my head under it and say, "Run me over, run me over, run me over," both times. I said that each time this happened. And he says, "I want to die, I want to die, I want to go back, I want to go back." I said repeatedly, repeatedly. I said the same thing repeatedly and repeatedly, repeatedly, over, rinse, recycle, and repeat. I said those things in a cycle both times. Uh, I seen a cycling pattern. Now, Amos James and Mr. Alinsky couldn't find out why I became more quiet and more angry over the years. I mean, there were other teachers, but they were there at the beginning. I'm surprised that Miss James never figured it out because she was there when Mr. Orlando was talking to Vinny that day. I'm just surprised that they never had some sort of, I don't know. And that was the same day I reported the got hit me mixed up with punch me in the skull. I said they hit me, I meant to say punch me. And so that way he got said they hit you but didn't hurt you. So I strangled him and punched him 50 times, maybe more. I think it was 56. And it felt good. I mean, I had to apologize, and the reason why I'm doing that because it was a lie. Oh, and yeah, that was a lie, Mr. Asshole. I lied, and I couldn't feel great about it. I mean, greater, yeah. On this therapist who pointed her fingers at me, and says, "Don't pace, don't pace." I strangled her and then punched her and slammed her on the head on the desk several times for both. And I had to apologize for assaulting her. I take that apology back, bitch. She was my first therapist for the first year at Lighthouse. She was short, skinny, wear glasses, and she thought she could fuck with me. She's pretty stupid and insane, and because since day one I met her, I was already taller and way more muscular than her ever will be. So it's like, shouldn't you be more smart about this and say it means more smart about this for someone that's bigger than you to go a more smart way instead of just going head on? But no, she's just decided that she just could take control of the situation of the moment. And I like Columbus more than Lighthouse, completely. I found more fun time, and wonder why I like Columbus more, because more than Lighthouse, even though they were complete both pricks, I felt like Columbus accepted I was a goofball, while everyone else in the beginning and throughout the years was trying to change me and to not goofball. And want to know what they did? They turned me into a miserable fuck. So I went to being goofball all the time, joking all the time, making sick jokes, really bad sick jokes, to serious, quiet, and angry and violent. And so it's technically, when you really see all this stuff, it's kind of their fault. The stuff they were complaining about. That I told you, let's say, I was the first year I was living with Dad, and years later that, I would get time out for the whole day for drawing and coloring, doing nothing but drawing and coloring. So they gave me time out. Because I wasn't doing work, and I was like wondering to myself, what does any of the stuff they teach me have to do with the real world and how to function, you know? In the real world, but it just didn't, like, sunk in my brain, you know? And so I realized they're full of shit. AJ gave the principal a hard time when he's an EMT now. This happened recently. He gave the principal and Miss James a hard time, yelled at them, called them names, because they couldn't take care of a kid that wasn't hurting anyone. In fact, he was just sick and couldn't wasn't and it wasn't hurting one. He was just sick and wasn't hurting one. They don't. AJ doesn't know. I can't remember what. I don't know what AJ said, if he was having a psychotic break or what. But AJ was not. He had patience to calm him down. So, it sounds like he was having a psychotic break. And what are you supposed to do in a psychotic break? You're supposed to give the person, in my experience, when you have a psychotic break, that's a sign that you haven't gotten the love that you deserve in this life. This cold, hot life. And Lighthouse is a good responsibility, and she has more responsibility of that fact than Columbus ever will. Because one of another thing, Columbus was okay with me and everyone else that went to the school. I was a kid. The old king was that you're just using imagination and being a kid. Sure, they didn't treat me like shit and didn't report abuse, but they seemed to accept that I was a kid. And whereas Lighthouse never accepted. They want you to be all you can be fast as possible and doesn't want to accept you for being a kid. They want you to accept yourself as a adult, not you accept yourself as a kid, a minor. So, but but there were some exceptions there, but most of Joy were like that. I mean, my only mistake that I made in my life was listening to them. And I regret it. Stop being a goofball. Stop making dark, twisted, bad jokes. Stop talking like myself, like the goofball I am. And the weirdo I am. Stop talking like a baby. Like saying, I feel like this donut tastes like Alyssa. It's like stuff like that. Well, you know what? I'd rather be all those things and an immature jackass for the rest of my life than be a miserable fuck. And also, Lighthouse, I mean, unlike Columbus always know that I was talking about movies not as a metaphor. They was talking about movies and TV shows, and one of them said you can talk about movies anytime except when you're in school. They said you can talk about movies anytime except when you're in school. So we talk about movies and TV shows and criticizing them. They knew I was only talking about those things. So they said you know about those things as much like except in school. In school we had to learn. I think the principal said that, and everyone said that. And the principal said, "Dreams go to die." That's what principal said. I think she was being funny. Yeah, I got what she was saying. I got what they were saying, and the was said in such a nice way. I kind of understand, but they got more angry each time they had to say because I kept on forgetting because of all the hits that head I took. And being thrown down the stairs and stuff. Well, the first 4 years I was with his mom by Benny.